Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to NoDQ&A video right here on NoDQ.com, as well as the YouTube channel and NoDQ&A videos affiliate ringsidenews.com. I was actually not planning on doing another video until after the Royal Rumble pay-per-view, but there's been a couple of big news stories already this weekend, and I have more of your questions, so I figured I'd get another video out. What the hell? Let's get down to your questions here. First one today comes from Nick Lombardi. Hey Aaron, with Austin Aries making his debut, how do you think he'll do in NXT? And when, if ever, will he go to the main roster? I think that he will do really well in NXT. I think it's just a matter of time until he gets to the main roster. I think that it's been long overdue for him to get the opportunity in WWE. I remember watching Austin Aries a decade ago in PWG, and I was really impressed with the guy. I felt the one thing that might have worked against him was his size and not being that tall. But he's overcome the odds, and at one point he got turned down for Tough Enough, and he went to TNA, became world champion, and now he's debuting in NXT, and he's part of the WWE family. I think that that's tremendous. I'm very happy for Austin Aries that he's getting this opportunity. And if it was all about athleticism and in-ring skill, Austin Aries would be at the top of the ladder in the wrestling business. I think it's just a matter of developing the right character for him and getting him over with the mainstream audience. And if that happens, Austin Aries is going to be a really big deal in WWE. Alright, this one comes from Everett Wright. Austin Aries signing to NXT further proves WWE's willingness to sign former TNA talent. Can you see Bobby Roode getting signed in the future? I really hope so. I mean, of all the guys left in TNA that have not signed with WWE, Bobby Roode is at the top of the list in my opinion. I think that if he got the opportunity in WWE, he would do really well, and he could be a major force on a big stage like WWE. Bobby Roode is a tremendous athlete, tremendous promo, everything about him. He's got the right look. He has all the tools to be very successful. I just feel as long as he's in TNA, he's only going to go so far, and it's one day perhaps that he'll get the WWE opportunity. And if guys like Austin Aries do well and guys like Samoa Joe and AJ Styles, that will increase the chances that one day Bobby Roode will get a nice deal and finally be able to showcase his abilities in a WWE ring. Alright, this one comes from Havid Rayman. What did you think about TNA claiming that AJ Styles backed out of a signed deal to return to Impact Wrestling? Please answer in video. According to AJ Styles' agent Bill Behrens, they had not actually signed a deal. And I would be shocked if they actually did sign something. My gut feeling on this, and I'm sure there's still more details that will be released and we'll know more in the coming days, but as of right now, looking at that headline, it just comes off to me like TNA trying to garner some kind of sympathy about losing AJ Styles to WWE. To me, they should have just not said anything. I think it makes them look bad, and based on the feedback that I've seen online from fans, I mean, it's just another thing to make TNA look weak and makes them look like the losers that could have signed AJ, but they failed and they lost him to WWE. That's how I see it. I just don't think that AJ Styles and the Bullet Club guys would sign a contract and then back out of it and then get a WWE deal. I would be shocked if that happened. So it sounds to me like they probably were very close to a deal, but had actually not officially signed a contract, and then they got an offer from WWE and decided to go in that direction instead. Alright, this one comes from 410 Boss. Please answer in video. Should AJ Styles be brought to the main roster as a heel or a babyface? Well, when he debuts, and if he debuts at the Rumble or on Raw the next night, I think he's going to get a positive reaction because a lot of fans will recognize him. Of course, there's going to be a good number of fans that don't, but I think when you see AJ Styles appear and you're a casual fan, you're going to be interested in the guy, and when you see him doing all the high-flying moves, I think it's best for him to come in as a babyface, and maybe down the line he could work as a heel, but I always felt that AJ Styles' best work in TNA over the years was as a babyface, and that's how I would debut him. Certainly not bring him in as Nature Boy Ric Flair version 2.0. I think he's best off just being AJ Styles and doing all the phenomenal things that he does and getting over that way. Alright, this one comes from Ahmed Farhan. If Brock Lesnar is to be eliminated at Royal Rumble, he will be facing his eliminator at WrestleMania. What do you think about that? Please answer in video. That seems to be logical, and there's been a lot of speculation that if Brock doesn't win the Rumble, that he'll be eliminated by somebody like Bray Wyatt. And that's what seems to make sense to me, that perhaps Brock Lesnar will eliminate the Wyatt family members at the Rumble, and then Bray Wyatt will run back in and throw out Brock Lesnar, screw over Lesnar out of the WWE title, and that will set up Bray Wyatt versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. And maybe as a setup to that, have Braun Strowman versus Brock Lesnar at the Fastlane pay-per-view. So Brock Lesnar can go through the Wyatt family members one at a time until he finally gets to Bray. That is something I could definitely see happening for WrestleMania. Alright, this one comes from Grant Peoples. Do you think that Luke Gallows will have a better run in the WWE this time? I would be shocked if he doesn't. If he's brought in and given his own identity, I think he should do well. The thing is, when he was in WWE the first time, he had that goofy Festus character, which was going to have a very short shelf life. And then you had him become one of CM Punk's disciples as a member of the Straight Edge Society, and he was essentially a sidekick, and he was only going to go so far in that role as well. So it's just a matter of what kind of role they give him, but as long as he's allowed to do his own thing and be independent, he should be a big deal. And if he does come in as part of a group and they do a Bullet Club style group, as long as they're booked to be very strong, you know, they come in and they're like the Shield where they're winning matches, then he should do better than in his first WWE run, no doubt about it. Alright, this one comes from Chris. Do you think Dean Ambrose will turn heel before Rollins returns? Rollins is most likely going to return as a face. Please answer in video. I have been arguing for a Dean Ambrose heel turn for how long now? And that makes a lot of sense. If Seth Rollins is coming back as a babyface, and I assume he will be, you need some top heels for him to go against. Why not turn Dean Ambrose heel? I don't know what WWE's waiting for. And I even made it clear, if he does turn heel, I will shave off the beard. So if you guys out there are watching this and you're not a fan of the beard, then get on WWE's case. Tweet them, Facebook them, get them to somehow turn Dean Ambrose heel so I can get rid of the damn beard. But yeah, I would like to see Ambrose turn heel. And WWE really needs a strong heel, and I think Ambrose would be that guy, but they haven't done it, and WWE seems hell-bent on keeping Ambrose as the happy-go-lucky, somewhat crazy guy who is besties with Roman Reigns, and that's what they want to do, so be it. It's WWE. It's their company. Alright, this one comes from Interstate Kyle. Hey Aaron, do you think that there are too many factions in WWE right now? It seems these handicap matches are overkill. I would agree on that. It does seem like 1997 all over again with all these factions, all these guys that really have no direction and they're just thrown together in groups. And it really serves to get nobody over. And I really hate to say that WWE should release some people, but the problem is there's so many guys on the roster, and WWE is just trying to get as many people on television as possible, and nobody really gets over because they're just thrown together in these watered down groups. And even the League of Nations, which is supposed to be a top heel faction, nobody takes it seriously. So yeah, I would agree that there are definitely too many groups in WWE right now, and just some guys are not going to get on TV. That's the bottom line. And trying to just throw everybody out there doesn't really accomplish anything. And really all it does is just create more filler and just more people you have to try and remember and pay attention to. And it's just overkill. I mean, any TV show gets bad when you have just too many characters. It's better when you have a smaller amount of characters and you can focus on that smaller group of characters and focus on getting those characters over and developing their personas. Alright, this one comes from Connor. Do you think EC3 will come to WWE? I think if they booked him right, he could become a main event star. I really like EC3 in TNA. I think he's done very well, and we'll see how he does as a babyface now. As far as going back to WWE, I think it's a long shot because WWE has so many other guys they're focusing on right now. We just saw Austin Aries debut, and with AJ Styles coming in, and the Bullet Club members, and Nakamura. WWE is going to be focusing on those guys, and perhaps one day we will see EC3 in a WWE ring again, although I doubt he'll be EC3. He'll be Derek Bateman again, or they'll give him another name. But yeah, I think one day, he's definitely got the promo abilities. He's a good wrestler. He's got a good look. He's muscular. That's what Vince likes. And, he's proved himself to be talented. And perhaps WWE made the wrong decision to get rid of him. I'd like to see him get another chance at some point. But will it happen right away? That would surprise me with just so many other guys being in the mix right now. Alright, this one comes from Mr. Panda 316. Should WWE change the design of the United States title? It's been the same design for years now, and I think a new look is needed. Honestly, I really don't care about the look of the US title. It's not that important to me. I think what's more important is making the title mean something and making it a credible championship that you want to see defended on television, and you care about who the champion is, and you care about what the matches are for the US title. The design is really the least of the issues, in my opinion. But one day, maybe it would be a good idea to change the title design. But if they were going to do it, it should have been done when Cena was champion and the US title was the hot commodity in the WWE. Changing it now, I feel, would really have very little value. If you're going to change it when the title has some momentum. Alright, this one comes from Brandon Snyder. Who would you have Kevin Owens face The Undertaker at this year's WrestleMania, and would you have him beat him as well? Please answer in video. Right now, Kevin Owens seems to be the most logical candidate for potential Undertaker opponents. You look at the landscape of heels in WWE, and WWE really doesn't have that many strong heels. Kevin Owens is, quite frankly, your best bet to face Undertaker. I mean, one would think Undertaker's definitely competing at WrestleMania. He's posted videos where he's doing all this heavy weightlifting. I mean, he's definitely getting in shape, and I'm guessing he's getting in shape for WrestleMania. And what could be a send-off match. If he's not facing Sting, I think Kevin Owens is your next best bet. I would have gone with Cena if Cena was available, but WWE has to make alternative plans, and he needs to be up against a good heel. Undertaker does. So, I would go Kevin Owens and give Kevin Owens a potential match of his career at WrestleMania and a star-making performance. And yeah, I would make an argument for him beating The Undertaker and that really elevating Owens to the next level. Alright, this one comes from Ty Marshall. If WWE clears Daniel Bryan before WrestleMania 32, who would you pick him to have a match with at WrestleMania? My pick would be AJ Styles. That is a very interesting concept for a match. I think that if Daniel Bryan is cleared, that would be an ideal match for him to face one of his old indie rivals in AJ Styles, and I think that would be a match that would be very satisfying to a lot of the indie wrestling fans and a lot of the hardcore wrestling fans. It would be a really great showcase for WrestleMania, and hopefully the two of them would be allowed to go out there and have no limitations and give them the chance to steal the show and have the best match possible. I mean, that could be an all-time WrestleMania classic. So, yeah, I think that I would go with that as well. I think AJ Styles would be a great opponent for Daniel Bryan, and that way Daniel Bryan would not have to be in the main event, but him and AJ could go out there and just tear the house down, and it would help elevate AJ Styles in WWE as well. Alright, got one more question here from D-Miner88. Please answer in video. Hey Aaron, how do you feel about Raw and SmackDown's main events being more of segments than actual matches? I want real matches. I feel it doesn't matter what the main event segment is as long as it's advancing the main storyline and helping to build excitement for the next pay-per-view. I mean, that's really what the goal of the final segment of the show is. You're trying to build up your rating. You know, you kick off the show, you announce something for the main event, or sometimes you announce something a week in advance, and you try and build up a rating, and then when you got all the people tuning in, you shoot your big angle. And sometimes you can do that in a match, and sometimes you do it in a talking segment. So it's just a matter of what will help advance the story and get people invested in tuning in the next week and tuning in to the pay-per-view event and subscribing to the network and all that stuff. Alright, so that'll wrap it up for this edition of NoDQ&A video. Unless something catastrophic happens, this will be the last video until the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. Make sure you stay tuned to NoDQ.com for all the latest breaking news and rumors, all the latest regarding TNA's situation with AJ Styles and Austin Aries' debut in NXT and potential Royal Rumble surprises. All those details will be at NoDQ.com. With that being said, I will see you guys next time for more NoDQ&A video.